I played in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and that's part of my life, so I just wanted to mention that. I was the original saxophone player before there were any horns. I was kind of hired by a phone call. Hired. We didn't even have the name of the band yet, so the drummer in the band called me. I met some of the people in the rhythm section. There was a rhythm section of myself, and that was the original Blood, Sweat, and Tears. We did one concert. I made $200 in $5 bills, stuffed into my pocket. Seriously. That was the whole thing. I never made $200 in 20 minutes playing. I made $175 for a whole week in Puerto Rico or something, but not $200, you know. So I got $100 before I played, and the leader of the group said, it was like a mafia scene. He said he found these bills in his pocket. They were like $100 worth of fives, and he stuffs it, finds these things, you know, like tax forms and whatever, you know, and then he stuffs it into my pocket. He says, you get the other half after the show. I'm going, ooh, this is kind of crazy. Anyway, we did great. We played in the Fillmore East, opening act for famous groups at the time. I looked kind of like short hair at the time. The leader of the group said, you're not wearing that jacket. I had like a collegiate jacket on. He says, you're not wearing that. So he brings me this like Chinese oriental silk satin shirt with 3 buttons over here. Very nice, and put it on. So, and there's a whole bunch of groupies in the audience and whatever. It was all very strange to me because I'm a jazz player. I've traveled in Europe and whatever. Just a musician, you know. This was a strange thing back in 1967, I think it was. And I think the first gig that we played, the first job, was at the Cafe A Go-Go in New York City. And I looked at a poster, the original poster was on my birthday, November 19th, which was interesting, whatever that means. And so that's kind of where it was. And about a month later, after playing this concert, the band was named by whoever. There's different stories about that. And we recorded within a few months. And within the year, we were #1. And I was telling someone the other day, it was kind of strange to be top 10 for 92 weeks or something. And it's funny because certain parts of the United States, people didn't know much about us. They were like really behind the times, you know. And after we were really hot for a couple of years, you go out and they just be hearing "You Made Me So Very Happy," which had been, you know, it was like old hat already. Whatever. And so anyway, I had a great experience. I played with him about 3 or 4 years and left. And the funny thing was my mom, because I didn't graduate from college, my mom said, after I made all this money at age 27, I was like semi-retired, I had a house out in California and whatever. And my mother said, you think you ought to go back to college? She was right, actually. The mom is right. You know?